Hello, hello, American Crochet Association. Salena Baca here, founder, host, lead educator with the ACA, and it's Tuesday in the month of October. So not only are we celebrating our 5th anniversary, 5 years, yay, of having the American Crochet Association, not only that, but every Tuesday throughout the month of October this year, we're going to be celebrating with a new tip. And these tips are going to be a little more in depth. We're actually going to give a little bit of a lesson every Tuesday. So I'm pretty stoked about that. If you guys are excited and you're watching live, come on over, say hey, say hello, tell me where you're viewing from. As long as I'm here live and I see that you leave a comment, I'm going to give you a shout out. All right. Now I've got a really exciting lesson for you guys today, something that I hope will really help your crochet life. It's all about crocheting in joined rounds and creating those flat, even, nice circles. Now, do you guys have any questions about how to crochet a nice, flat, even circle, no matter what stitch you're working with, whether it be single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet? Have you ever wanted to crochet in a round and create a nice, flat, even circle with one of those stitches? If you have and you're confused and you want to know the math behind creating these things, stay tuned because I've got a really quick lesson and it's going to come at you in just a minute, okay? And stay tuned till the end because we even have a little video tutorial that's going to help you guys apply some of these lessons that we're giving you today. So hopefully you guys will not only walk away with some knowledge, but you'll be able to apply that knowledge and build your skill, okay? Now, again, we are going to be talking about how to work in joined rounds and create those nice, flat, even circles, no matter what stitch you're working with, single crochet, half double, double, no matter what stitch. And of course, I'm going to be sharing some part of our lessons with you that you can only get if you're a member at the American Crochet Association. So I just wanted to walk you guys through where I'm getting this from before I share it with you. I'm just sharing a little sneak peek, all right? So if you're already a member of the ACA with our learning path, then all you guys have to do is log in. If you're not part of the learning path yet, you can click on over to AmericanCrochetAssociation.org and you guys can join today. Now, the lesson that I'm sharing with you guys today is part of our 12-course learning path. Geared toward helping you build your crochet knowledge and skills. So we've got yarn, we've got swatch, we've got pattern reading and sizing. Actually, this lesson that I'm going to be giving you guys today fits really nicely in our sizing course. So within that course, you learn things like gauge and size, their relation, how to alter those, how to work towards getting your gauge to match what sizing means. Then we talk a lot about repeats. What is a repeat in rows? How do you do that? How do you replicate it? How does it make sense? What we're going to be talking about today comes from our repeats and rounds and tubes lessons. So we're not going to go over that entire lesson because there's a lot of information in there. So really the part that we're going to be focusing on is just about joined rounds and the repeats within joined rounds, and that's the meat of the lesson today, okay? Before I get started with this particular lesson, I see a few of you guys are here, and you're saying hey and hello, so I'm going to give shout-outs, like to Brenda Allison. Let me get your comment nice and big there. Hey, Brenda, so good to see you. And she's checking in from Southern California, of course. Wilson Cat is here. Hello, so good to see you. Good evening, Loretta. Good to see you too. She's here from New York City. Thank you for checking in. And of course, Terry Sampson, the one and only. She's been with us for so long. She's one of our ACA OGs, original members. It's so good to see you here too, Terry. Okay, guys. So again, if you're watching live or on the replay, let me know in the comments. Do you guys have problems getting circles to look like this? Nice, even, flat. Or do sometimes your circles get all puckered and you're not really sure why? Or maybe they're really big and wavy and you're like, I just want to make a nice flat circle. Well, I hope that this tip is really going to help you, okay? To form these nice center out circles that increase, because that's essentially what we're doing when we're creating a circle that's center out, you want your repeat to increase at a rate that's going to keep that fabric flat every single round, right? So the stitch repeats here have to increase at a very specific rate. Now, if you guys are like, stitch repeat, what is all this? What are you talking about? Again, this entire lesson really kind of deconstructs what a repeat is. But for the purposes of this particular lesson, just know that a repeat is something, a stitch that repeats over a certain structure. Let's just say that, okay? So depending on the height of the stitch, because we know that all of our stitches have a different height, single is small, half double, double, triple. So each one of those has a different height, right? So depending on that height of the stitch that you use, depending on the type of yarn that you use, maybe it's really bulky, maybe it's really thin, and your tension, that's another attribute to this as well. Maybe you have a really tight tension, maybe a really loose tension. So all of those things are going to attribute to the rate of increase. And that's where that rate of increase is going to vary, okay? So here is really where that magic kind of comes into play, all right? Ta-da! Have you guys ever seen anything like this before? Yes, no, maybe? Did you guys know that this was the math involved in every single stitch to get that nice, flat, round circle? Okay, really soak it in, guys, but let me break it down from the top all the way to the bottom, okay? So let's start with the single crochet stitch. If you are working that stitch in rounds and you want those rounds to be nice and flat and even, maybe you're making a hat, maybe you're making a basket, maybe you're making a blanket, a tablecloth. I mean, what can't we make with rounds, right? There's lots of different possibilities. But let's say we want it to be, a lot of rounds. We're going to be crocheting a lot of rounds and we don't want it to be wavy. We don't want it to pucker. We're not ready for it to be a bowl just yet, right? So how do we get it to be flat and even? Well, the beginning round of a single crochet should start with between 6 and 8 stitches. That's your base. And remember, guys, we talked about the different things that are going to determine whether or not you start with 6 or 8. Maybe it's the yarn you're using. Maybe it's your tension. Okay, those two things are really going to affect that beginning stitch count. Now, maybe you're using a giant yarn and 8 is just too much. So you have to go down to like 6, right? Maybe you're using a teensy tiny thread and you're like, 6 just isn't enough. So sometimes it does take a little playing around with it, depending on those things, your tension and the yarn you're using. Now, what do we do after that? Okay, we're all like, all right, I'm on board. Round number 1, I've got it. Now we want a nice increase from that. We still want it to be flat. We still want it to be round. So whatever our stitch beginning is, let's say it's 6, okay? Let's take a peek at this increase per round, that last bracket over here, okay? So round 1, you're gonna have 6 stitches. Round 2, you need to increase it, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna increase 2 by 2. So where we started with 6, now we need 12. How do we do that? We place 2 stitches into every stitch all the way around. And when we do that, we have a nice, neat, even increase. Okay, so that is our very first repeat. Now what do we do for round number 3? Can you guys see my... There we go. Okay, there it is. Now what do we do for round number 3? Round number 3, we need to add to that nice flat even circle. So we're going to do that by adding another 6 stitches. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? We started with round number 1, 6 stitches, round number 2, 6 stitches, round number 3, 6 stitches. Okay, so we're always adding the number of stitches that we started with to every single round. To do that in a nice, even way, that's where the repeat comes into play. That's where that nice repeat comes into play, to where we need something that's even, and that way we get that circle, okay? So maybe to get that nice, even, flat circle for round number 3, that's where we place 2 stitches into one space, and then 1 stitch into the next space, and that's 2, and then 1, so that's 3, and we have to do that 6 times all the way around. So if we do that 6 times, that gets us 18. Is that too mathy? Am I breaking it down enough for you guys? Hopefully I am, okay? So let's take that concept. Round number 4, we need to add 6 stitches. That's where we get 2 stitches into one space, and then we put 1 single crochet into the next 2 spaces. So over those 3 stitches, we actually have 4 stitches. So 4 times 6, 24. Making a little bit of sense now? So I'm sure you guys have followed a pattern to where you followed something worked in rounds. and it's given you some kind of increase in this way. And you guys might have felt like, okay, I kind of get it when I'm following a pattern. Here it is. Here it is for every single stitch. So again, if you're working single crochet, you might start with 6 or 8 stitches. You might have to play with that depending on your tension and depending on the yarn that you're using, the thickness of it. And if you start with 6, then you need to increase 6 stitches every single round. And to do that effectively every single round, you have to evenly space those increases. Okay, so that's why you start with 6, and then we need to increase by 6. So of course that's 2 stitches and every stitch going all the way around. We need to increase that by 6. So how do we do that? Well, we do it by placing 2 into one and 1 into the next, and we do that evenly all the way around. Same thing for half double, okay? Well, let's take that same concept and let's take it down to half double crochet. You have to get that nice flat even circle. You have to start with either 10 or 12 stitches. That's going to depend on your tension and the thickness of the yarn that you're using. If you start with 10, you have to increase 10 every single round. So you're going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's 6 rounds. If you start with 12, then it's increasing by 12 every round. 12, 24, 36, 48. Double crochet, you either have to start with 12 or 14, and then you increase accordingly, depending on whatever number you start with. And triple, you're going to start with either 14 or 16, and then every single round thereafter, you're increasing by 14 or 16. So there you have it. Does that demystify this for you guys at all? What do you guys think? Let's see who's here and what you guys are saying. Let's see. Monica's here from Texas. Hello. Thank you for checking in, Monica. Lisa's here. Hello, Lisa. Joe is here from California. Joe says, totally makes sense. Chris Lopez is here. She says, hi. So nice to see you. It's always so good to see your face, Chris Lopez. Thank you. And Alexander says, thank you. Awesome. Okay. And she also says, excellent. Okay. So thank you and excellent. Awesome. Okay, guys. So this is the math. This is the math. This is the pattern that you follow. This is what you do to get those nice, even, flat rounds, no matter what stitch you're working, okay? So if you guys want to put this into practice, we do have a little video for you guys using the double crochet stitch. So if you want to get a start, if you're still like, I'm not really sure where to join and counting and all that kind of stuff, watch this video because it's also going to give you a really cool way to change colors in joined rounds if you're not sure how to do that. Okay, so definitely check that out. You guys can get this link to this video. It's really quick. It's really simple in the description for this video. Okay, and if you guys do follow along with this homework, I call it homework. If you guys follow along with this fun video tutorial, then we would absolutely love it if you shared it with us over in our group. You guys can find it linked to this, to our business page, or you can just search for it in Facebook by typing in group:"American Crochet Association. And again, if you make any circles, we want to see them. If you guys want to practice your circles, if you guys have questions about circles, if you guys have questions about the repeats to create circles, we'd love to see them. That's what the community is all about. All right. Okay, we've got a few more comments here. One from Alexandra from Calgary. Thank you for checking in. Brenda, she says, I think that's what I've been doing, but it's great that you broke it down. Yeah, sometimes I think we get success accidentally. And I'm saying that from experience. And the reason I say that is because when I first started working in joined rounds, I think the first stitch that I was working with was double crochet. And so I felt like I got it. I felt like I understood it. It was like 12, 24, 36, 48. I got it. I thought the same concept worked no matter what stitch you were working with. So I had a heck of a time trying to work in joined rounds with the half double, with the triple, with the single. So I just thought, I don't understand this, or maybe it's me, or maybe it's the yarn, or maybe I forgot how to count. I didn't know that the height of every stitch was going to determine not just the beginning round, but the rate of increase. So this really helped me to break it down. And that way, no matter what stitch I wanted to use in joined rounds, I could easily just kind of look at this and go, okay, if I'm working half double, let me start with 10. Let me see if that works depending on my tension and yarn, and I'm going to go from there. So good. I'm glad that makes sense. Loretta, she says, makes sense. Good. I'm so glad. All right, everybody, that is all I have for you guys today. I've got some links for you in this video, and that way you guys can go and check out this entire lesson if you want, or just kind of practice, working in joined rounds with this video tutorial that we have over on YouTube. You guys can check that out today. And again, that link is in the video description. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video lesson. If you did, let me know in the comments. If you think this was awesome and life-changing and more people need to know, tag a crochet friend or share this video in just one place where you enjoy crochet, and we would really appreciate it. All right? Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here on this Tip Tuesday. Peace, love, crochet. See you next time. Bye-bye.